Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Today's episode is all about the new NVIDIA GeForce GTX 650 graphics card. In particular, we've got the MSI Power Edition today, which has the advantage of using a Kepler core and strong overvolting features in order to get the most out of your overclocking experience. The particular GTX 650 we're going to be looking at today is the MSI GeForce GTX 650 Power Edition. The Power Edition card has a couple of really neat features. So besides the completely redesigned custom PCB layout and the fact that it has a really cool cooler, which allows either single fan operation or dual stacked fan operation or even dual fan side-by-side operation. Pretty unique, right? It also has overvoltage options that you simply won't find on other video cards. Their triple overvoltage technology allows for better overclocking, and their dual fan cooler makes sure that you're not going to overheat while you're doing it. It uses a standard 6-pin PCI Express power connector, and like all Kepler cards, it does support PCI Express 3.0. Like all GK107 GPUs, we don't have any support for SLI, and this particular card does not have support for single card NVIDIA surround, so only 2 displays out at a time. However, it should be noted that once you get into the cards that are this, this oriented for single display operation, not that powerful, if you really want to run surround monitors, you probably should get something more powerful. So now let's talk performance. Enter the contenders in this lightweight championship battle between the GeForce GTX 650 and the Radeon HD 7770. We've got 2 overclocked cards here, MSI's Power Edition, Sapphire's Gigahertz Edition, and we're gonna find out which one's better by throwing them together and finding out which one survives. Actually, that's not what we're gonna do at all. We are going to make graphs and do this properly. That was Diesel's idea, by the way. He came up with that. I thought it was stupid, but I wanted to humor him because he's still sort of new on the team, and so I wanted him to feel like we took his input. So, oh, he's taking aim at me with his elastics. So let's talk performance, guys. Battlefield 3 1080p medium settings. The HD 7770 comes out ahead. This is a Gigahertz Edition card, and Slick mislabeled the axis here. That is a GTX 650, not a GTX 550 Ti. He hasn't slept in about a day and a half, so we're gonna give him a pass on this one. FPS, more is better. So we see a significant win. I would call this a landslide victory for the 7770. Moving right along, Skyrim. We see another victory for the 7770. It wins by about 30% over the GTX 650. I'm looking at you, Slick. FPS, more is better, 100 versus 73.5. Moving right along, Crysis 2 sees yet another victory for the HD 7770, and this is at this is a slightly less margin. Remember, guys, in Crysis 2, high settings is the lowest setting because they subscribe to the good, better, best, bestest school of thought. I mean, literally, the settings are high, very high, extreme, and ultra or something like that. Okay, so performance-wise, we have to give the nod to the HD 7770. However, if you do want, say for example, you want to hacksaw your Adobe and you want to run CUDA in order to accelerate certain effects, the GTX 660 does have support for CUDA. It also has support for 3D Vision. However, remember, 3D Vision adds about double the performance burden on the card, so you'd be running probably older games or at lower detail settings if you were going to run in stereoscopic 3D. However, when it comes to raw 2D, well, 3D gaming, but in not stereoscopic 3D, the 7770 comes out ahead. Thank you for checking out this video review of the GTX 650. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more videos like this from your favorite detailer, NCIX.com.